Tim Walz and Jacob Fry would rather let the streets run red with blood in Minnesota before they backed off and allowed ICE to do their jobs unimpeded. Not long after Alex Pretti was shot in Minneapolis by Border Patrol agents, the mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Fry, came out and released a statement where he characterized the events as follows. He says, "I just saw a video of more than 6 masked agents pummeling one of our constituents and shooting him to death." This carries with it brutal connotations, as if Alex was an innocent man who was jumped unsuspecting by a gang of men who were much stronger than him and beat him senseless and then murdered him in cold blood. What the mayor failed to mention was that Alex was armed with a deadly Sig Sauer handgun with an extra clip, and that he approached the Border Patrol agents first to engage in conflict. They didn't approach him to gang up on him for no reason. He involved himself in this fight. And unfortunately, when you approach law enforcement officers who are doing their job, especially in a highly contested, dangerous environment, and you get into a fight with them, you resist arrest and tussle around on the ground, and then they discover that you have a deadly weapon on your person, that's not going to go very well for you. I don't know what was going through Alex's mind when he decided to do this, but we could take a guess that maybe it was the words of Tim Walz when he encouraged his fellow Minnesotans to get out in the streets and resist ICE. Why did he bring a gun? Well, may it have had something to do with the words of the Attorney General of Arizona, Chris Mays, who recently hinted in a video interview that, hey, maybe our state's stand your ground laws might come in handy when it comes to ICE agents. Take a look at this video and see what she's implying.
You have these masked federal officers with very little identification, sometimes no identification. And we have a stand your ground law that says that if you reasonably believe that your life is in danger and you're in your house or your car on your property, that you can defend yourself with lethal force.
I want to be careful with that and understand what you're saying, because you know how that could be interpreted.
Well, but it's the fact. Now, you're not allowed to shoot peace officers.
So let's put a big pause there.
Yeah,
Some might say you are giving a license to an individual to shoot a peace officer.
No, absolutely not. But how do you know they're a peace officer? That's the key. And so if there's a situation where somebody pulls out their gun because they know Arizona is a stand your ground state, then it becomes, did they reasonably know that they were a peace officer? This is a Second Amendment issue. But
to be clear, you're not telling folks you have license if you are threatened to shoot a peace officer.
No, but again, if you're being attacked by someone who is not identified as a peace officer, how do you know? If somebody comes at me wearing a mask and I can't tell whether they're a police officer, what am I supposed to do?
This is very, very foolish rhetoric coming from the left. Chris Mays herself may be smart enough to not take up a firearm against an ICE agent, pretending that she doesn't know that they're valid enforcers of the law. But her constituents and the people she influences as far away as Minnesota may not be so smart, as we've seen this afternoon. She does disclaim it by saying, well, you shouldn't, of course, do this. But then she continues to say it anyway, which offers anyone who's looking for an excuse to murder an ICE agent an idea for a cover. Hey, I can just claim I didn't know who they were. I can say, hey, they were masked. How was I supposed to know that they were law enforcement agents? Videos like this show that the Democrats aren't really at all bothered by the fact that people are violently resisting ICE agents. They'd like to throw more fuel on the fire by hinting that, hey, maybe you could incorporate a firearm into your resisting arrest procedures. Maybe that would be a good idea. And we'll back you up on the legal defense if you do. And when you inevitably get shot trying to do this, they will be sure to paint you as a martyr and use your justified death as a way to draw hundreds more people into the streets to do more of the same.